Okay, everybody. As always, I want to invite everybody to subscribe, like, ring the bell, get notifications when we're putting up our next video, join the underground army, and as always, live life behind bars. Peace. Okay, everybody, back on this Leggero. I jumped on the spark on this about 10 minutes after I finished the last video. As you can see, I have a brand new spark plug here. Kicked it over, didn't see any spark, grabbed it with my hand, held it like that and kicked it over, and sure enough, no spark. So, which didn't surprise me, it hasn't been started in so long. But I was kind of curious as to where I wasn't getting spark from, so I checked to see if I have spark coming out of the magneto. And here, I'll show you. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to roll it over. We had spark. I don't know if you saw that or not. We'll try it again here. There. We have spark coming out of the magneto, coming up to the ignition. Now, as you can see, this ignition, I have it pulled out of here because when I was turning the ignition, it was just free flying when I was doing this. It wasn't clicking in here. Most ignitions on motorcycles will click from position to position. Reason being, these connections, I don't know how well you can see the brass connections, they're dimpled. And every time you click into a different position, you know, it makes like a click. So I figured I'd take this off, see what was going on with that. I pulled the 3 bolts out, took it off. When I did, this all fell apart. There's a connector right here that goes on this little Y-shaped thing here. And when you turn the key, it rotates and it makes the connections in here. Well, when I took this apart, it had all fallen apart. All the connectors had come off it. And there was a spring in there that kind of blew off into Neverland too. I got to see if I can find that. If so, I might be able to repair this. But I went ahead and ordered a new ignition. I ordered a new battery. On the other side, the battery strap was broke, so I ordered a new battery strap, and there's a little pad that went in the bottom of the battery tray I ordered. I also ordered the rear brake switch because that looks like it's broken, and there was a rubber that went around it to keep it, you know, dry and waterproof, and I ordered that too. So I'm waiting for those to come. So that's where we're at on this. I think because I have spark coming out of the magneto in the case, I think this is actually what's causing the problem. So I think once we get the ignition switch on there, a good one, I think we'll be all right as far as getting spark when we turn the key on and roll it over. Another thing I wanted to show you, there's a little electric box right here. I took the cover off that, checked everything out in here, all the connections, they all look good and clean. Didn't see any broken wires. This is a breaker right here. I tested the breaker on a battery, just negative, you know, just with a light tester like this and a battery. I got continuity through it, so that's good. As you can see, I got the carburetor that we put on it back off. I got the tank off it that we put on it. And I had to do all that stuff just to check the wiring up here that goes up under the tank. I wanted to make sure all here, I'll back out a little bit, and all this wiring up here I wanted to check. So I had to take the tank off, had to take the carburetor off and the horn so I could get enough slack in the wiring here to get it out this hole. If you look at all the connections in the back of this, they all look good. They all look clean, no green, no, you know, corrosion. So I think everything's going to be okay once we get that ignition switch in there as far as the electric goes. But I'm on hold with that until those parts get here. So I'm going to take you around, show you something else, a couple other things that I noticed on the bike, one being the headlight, and it's missing the front brake cable. I have all these parts to get that part of it fixed, so that's what we're going to dive into today. Going to move the camera around the front of the bike. I'll see you in a minute. All right, everybody, I want to take you around and show you what I was talking about on the parts that I just ordered for this bike. This here is the rear brake switch. As you can see, nothing moves up and down with the pedal. It's broken. There's also a rubber grommet that goes over it that keeps it clean and dry, and that's gone. So I got both those coming. When they get back here, there's some other stuff I want to tell you about that, because these Aramakis, they run their spark through the rear brake light filament, and if your rear brake light goes out, you will lose spark. I'll explain that to you later when we get into this. It's really kind of a weird thing, but all right, as you can see, there's a pad missing that goes in the bottom of the battery tray. You can see the pad on the back there, that's still there. This is the broken strap. I got that coming. That's the old battery. I got one identical to it coming, and there's a plastic cap that goes over the top, so that's coming. Like I said, the brake light switch and the grommet that goes over it are coming. Now, up here on the front brake, this is what was missing up here, and this was like this when I got it. I can see here, the brake light switch looks like it's working okay. Doesn't appear to be broken. The barrel that goes in here is missing that the inner brake cable goes into. And we're also missing, looks like there's something that goes in there too for almost like a cup like this. That one end of the brake cable goes in. I'm wondering if that's even the right size. I got one of these. And this one I'm going to put down below. I'll show you. When the brake cable, the outer brake cable and stuff comes down, it goes through this eyelet right here. Comes down. And then it has one of these, or what's supposed to be one of these, threaded in there. As you can see, that one's broke. Missing the nut and the cup on the top of it. That's the cup on the top of it and what it looks like. Inner cable goes down through it. When it does, comes down here, hooks onto the brake lever. This is part of the old cable that broke. And so we'll get that all run and hooked up. Then the other thing I wanted to show you was this headlight. Pretty self-explanatory. I got the clips for that, so we're going to get that apart, and I'll show you how the clips go in there, and we'll get that back together the way it's supposed to be. So right now we're going to get this taken care of, and all the front brake stuff. I can take the rear brake switch off. I don't have it yet, but we can get that far. So, all right, let me get back to this video. I'm going to mount this camera so you can watch what I'm doing. See you in a minute. Okay, everybody, let's see if we can get this brake cable in here. Now, what's got to happen, there's a little hole right here. You have to take the inner brake cable out of the outer brake cable, because that's got to feed through there first. Once it goes through, as you can see, it's coming out the other side here. I thought there was a threaded thing that went in the end here. There's actually a built-in cup for where the end of this cable goes. So now that I have that there, I want to get this back in the end of the cable. This is the end it came out of. See if I can get it back in there. It's a little bit frayed. So I'm afraid it ain't gonna go back in. Well, it's not too horrible. Come on, baby. I'll get her worked all the way down through there. Oh, come on. Inch at a time. We're getting there. Okay, we're out the other side. Okay, now as you can see, get my fingers out of the way here. You can see the barrel on the end of the cable, the inner cable there. That goes into this, drops down into that slot right above my thumb, right here, and that goes in here. So what we're going to do, slide this down in and work this into it. Now, might be a little easier said than done. Get in there. Okay. So that's how that goes. Now this barrel here is actually just a pinch too small for that. See how it's wiggling around? So I might have to order another one of them. I think that's from a different bike, but it'll work for now just so we can get this front brake working. Now, as you can see, you got to push this up into the end of the housing there. Now I'm going to drop the camera down. Bear with me a second here. Like I said, this has to come down through this loop in the fork. Pull all the slack out of it. You know what? I think I'm going to go down. No, I was going to go down the inside of the headlight, but I'm going to leave it on the outside. Okay, now let's see if I can angle us down to what's going on below. I have to bring you out some. All right. Now, down here I told you we had a broken piece I got to get out. It was actually turning pretty freely. I got a pair of pliers here. Let's see if we can work it out. And I'm hoping that this here is the same thread as the one I'm taking out. We will find out when I get her out. Yeah, at least it's not stuck in there and I don't have to heat it or anything, which I'm shocked and amazed since it's as old as it is. Okay, let me see. It does appear to be the same. So, see if she'll screw in there. Or if it's going to make a liar out of me. No, there it goes. Fits like a glove. See if you can see what's going on there. Looks to be a 10 mil, but it's threading right down in there. All right. Then we take the end of the cable. No, that fray on the end is not my friend today. Come on. There we we go. And then you want to put the end of the cable, the metal end of the cable, right down in there. Okay. Then we have this part here. Back out a little more. This part here. And again, that looks like a 10 mil. Let me get a wrench. We'll pull that old broken piece of cable out of there. Put the end of the new cable in there. And hopefully the front brake will work then. Okay. Just got to loosen this up. That old part will pull out. Take the new part. There's a hole that goes down through this bolt here. Yeah, that fray on the end of that is not cooperating with me today at all. And then tighten it back up. Make sure you get it good and tight or that cable's going to come slipping out of there. Oh. There we go. All right, boys and girls. Now, as you can see, front brake is working now. Okay, that's all that took. All right, I'm going to readjust the camera here for the headlight. Be back in a minute. All right, everybody. Back again. Had to get a screwdriver so we can pull this apart. Now, I have never been in one of these. So we're both taking this little adventure together. But I can see this screw takes the ring off. Now I know there's clips in here that hold this headlight in, but I'm not really sure how they go on. So we're going to figure this out. These are the clips. I'll show you one. Just a little wire clip. If I can get one out of the bag. This is what they look like. It's the little wire clip. So we'll figure out how this works. Now I can see it appears to have this built right into it, but that's the only one. So let me see what I can figure out here. I'm thinking this edge goes under that built-in one. I got the beam upside down. Make sure it's in there right side up. Okay. So that's going to go like that. Now I can see on the back of the bulb it has these built-in nubs on here. I'm assuming that probably has something to do with it. I don't know. think I might have an idea though. I think this clip goes in here like this, and so does this one. Yes. Am I up too high? This little piece of the wire here locks under the lip and then presses back to lock it in place, if I can get it there. And then I think when I put it back together, the edge of this is going to hold these clips down. Let me see how this works, if it does. I believe that was it. Now I'm wondering, if there's a gasket that's supposed to go around this headlight. I'm going to have to go look in the parts catalog. Those clips seem to be staying where they're at. But as you can see, the light still moves around a little bit. Tighten this down. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, there's a little lip on the top of this headlight that this chrome ring has to catch on before I get this bolt started, or the screw in the bottom started. Okay, I'm missing something here. Seems like it's on like 2/3 of the way around and I can't get the rest. All right, I'm going to turn this off and monkey with this a minute. I'll be back in a second. All right, everybody, I'm back. Figured it out. I actually went in the house, looked in your manual, didn't have any pictures in there. Looked in the parts manual, had an exploded version. Just showed one of these clips that it goes behind there. It didn't show how it went in. But I figured it out and I wanted to show you how they go. They tuck up under the lip here. Let me take one and show you. These two tabs right here go up under the lip, and then the two prongs hold the light in. So I put 3 of them around it. It didn't say how many it should have, and it had the built-in one over here, so I've got 4 of them holding it in. Seems to be good and solid in there. Now we're going to pop this back on. If it wants to go back on. It was giving me a hard time earlier. Well, I'm going to get this back together and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Got her on. It was giving me a really hard time. I guess this bezel was a little out of round, and the lip on it that it goes over was needing a little tweaking. So we got her on there, did a little battle. I won the war though, so it's all done now. Front brake's all done, headlights done. This video's getting a little long, so I'm going to wait on the rear brake switch light, or the rear brake switch for the tail light, and do that when we get all the electrical stuff in. All right. Okay, everybody. That's it for right now. As always, be good to each other, be kind, keep that shiny side up, live life behind bars. I will catch you when all the electronic stuff gets in here, hopefully before the end of the week, and you know, we'll get the battery and we'll get the brake switch and everything else done on this, and hopefully get her fired up. All right, I'm going to get this posted for you today. I got a couple of shorts I'm going to put up with it. Hope you guys enjoy them, and I will see you soon. Peace.